Media days, and as always, this is one of my favorite days, preseason, to enter the season and to get ready. I can't thank you enough for what you do for our kids and for the local community and for high school football as a whole. Getting into the 2025 season, I can say that we are nothing short of excited and ready to get out to fall camp on August the 4th. We got a good group coming back, 13 returning starters off of last year's 9-3 team. And then on top of those 13 starters, we have about another 7 or 8 that rotated quite significantly. So we feel like we have a wealth of knowledge and playing experience coming back this year. You know, obviously we lost in the region championship to Pike Road last year, and that still has left a really sour taste in our mouths. But, you know, I'll be quite honest, all year we have not really focused on last season. We got back from the second round of the playoffs. We took 1 week off to clean up the locker room and do everything, and we went ahead and hit the off season, and we haven't stopped since. We've gone 4 days a week in the month of June and July. We did 5 7-on-7s, including one where we won the Jacksonville State 7-on-7. We did an OTA with Headland, and we've just gotten after it. We've had a total of 22 summer practices this summer. Every day we work out, every day we play in the heat, every day we do what we're supposed to do to get ready to win a region championship. I'm really excited, and to start on the offensive side of the ball, we got our quarterback, Bryson Riggins, back. Obviously, he threw for 3,251 yards and 40 TDs last year. You always feel good as a head coach when you got a young man like that coming back. And then we got the core of our receivers back, and Jamari Burnett, Noah Sterling, Cedric Dupins, and Quentin Lewis. And then we have 2 really good running backs who will both be first-year starters for us, but Chris Lucas and Eugene Robinson. I think, that is a stable of running backs that could tote it at any time. 20 carries a game, both of them apiece, no problem. On the offensive line, we return 3 out of 5 of our players with Jordan Smith and DJ Horn anchoring that, and we're really excited about those 2 guys. But we're also excited about the 3 juniors we got starting on the offensive line this year and the depth that's going to build as we go. And I'll be honest, this has been my first year here in year 5 where I look back and we've got 17 guys playing offensive line. Obviously football games are won or lost in the trenches, and so when you're looking at the offensive line and you're just seeing a steady rotation, and the fact that we're still in July and we're competing for starting spots with competition creates success. And so I've been really excited, and I think that Coach Brazel, our offensive coordinator, Coach Cardwell, our co-OC, and then Coach David Sakruski, our offensive line coach, has just done a wonderful job, and our offensive staff as a whole has done a great job. On the defensive side, we returned Ty Davis at safety, and then you've got Cameron Murray at outside linebacker. You've got Isaiah Thomas at defensive end. You've got Lamontez Pollard on the defensive line. He plays a little bit of nose guard 3 technique. You got Eldrick Page back at middle linebacker. You've got Carlos Cotton back at corner, and just a wealth of really good players. And the one thing I love every day is I go out to practice, and we're really big about coach all the time. Coach, 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 coach. When you're in between those lines, everywhere you go, you run. But what's really, makes you feel good about yourself as a coach is when you look at inside and you see the 1s coaching the 2s. And so what you've come to find in the last 5 years, and this is really a testament to our kids' intensity and focus every day at practice, but also the coaches that we've brought in and the wealth of knowledge, is our kids understand football, and they understand what it is that we're trying to do schematically no matter what. And and on the defensive side, Coach Julius Dixon, our defensive coordinator, and Coach Tyler Moore and Walter Pritchett and Adam Helms and Sam Moats and Travis Edwards, and all of them, they do a great job. I mean, practice is intense. Every day we start with competition, every day we end with competition, and there's something to gain and there's something to lose every day when we do that. But to say that there are big expectations this year, there are, and they understand that. And every day, and I was really surprised. We started spring training with 167 football players. And, as we weave through it, we've cut about 62, whether it was just through not showing up or whatever. But, the core group of our guys didn't miss a practice all year. I mean, when I looked at it, we literally had 97% attendance all year. And at a school like Russell County, when you got some kids who live all the way out in Hurtsboro, which is about a 35-minute drive there and a 35-minute drive back, that's really an indicator to the potential success that you're going to have this season. But, just to go ahead and say, we expect to win, and we expect to win a lot, and we expect to play at a high level, and they understand that. And the thing that I love them about it is they accept it, they love it, and they're ready for it. At this time, I'm going to open the floor up for questions.
Anybody got a question?
Hey, Coach. Last week when I was at Russell County, Coach Knox said you mentioned it already, the expectations, but he said second round minimum this year. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, what is your response to him?
I've known Coach Knox for a long time, and I think that expectation is expected. I mean, for us, I'll be honest. I mean, until somebody tells me otherwise, and I've said this year 1, and I'll say this year 5, I'll say this year 10. I expect a region championship, and then I expect a state championship every year. There is no point in us showing up every day and demanding what we demand out of these kids to expect anything less until the fat lady tells us so. And so until I've been told otherwise, the expectation is 15-0. And then if we lose one, then it's 14-1, and that's just not going to stop.
Coach, we've seen a lot of growth at Russell County over your tenure and really just past few years, obviously the field and with the team. But if you could just speak to that growth and what you've seen over the past few years.
I was telling somebody the other day, my first day at Russell County, I just came from Pinson Valley, and we were off a 6A state championship, and I walk in the weight room, and there were 32 kids sitting there, and you're in a 6A program. It's a little shocking. But the one thing that I found and that I've learned over my time here is Russell County kids are resilient. Their whole lives, most of these kids have been told what they could and couldn't do simply because, it's Russell County. And, big thing is they were born and they were built for any bit of adversity that's hit them across the way. But we are where we are because of these guys right here and other players in the program, because for the last 4 years, 5 years, they stuck it out and they weathered the storm, and they believed in not only what it was that we as coaches were trying to do, but they believed in each other. And so I think that the growth has really happened because that the kid at Russell County is very resilient. I've never been anywhere where I've ever felt more blessed in my entire life, and I've learned as much as a coach and how to be a better man than I have from the kids at Russell County. So when you talk about our success and you talk about our growth, it's because of them. It's because of the community. It's because of our Board of Education. Dr. Coley's the best superintendent I've ever met in my entire life. I've never met somebody, she's just a God-fearing woman. Our AD, Coach Larry Knox, his passion is just undeniable. And just the administration from top to bottom with Miss Tanya Keene, she just retired as our principal, but she's been all in from day one, and we're really excited about Mr. Chris Daniels coming in from Auburn City Schools to be our new principal. But it's been a commitment from top to bottom, but they've showed up every day, they've done the work, they've paid the price, they get to reap the benefits, and we're just lucky to be a part of it.
Hey, Coach, last season you scored a team record 469 points. You've got a prolific quarterback. You bring back a ton of your playmakers on offense. But how do you bring your defense with you? And, it takes a full team effort to win a state championship like you talk about. How do you make sure that both sides of the ball are playing to that expectation?
Well, and when I look at the offense and the defense as a whole, over the last 5 years, we've had 4 different defensive coordinators, and finally Coach Dixon has come in and he's provided stability. This will be year 3 from him. One year we actually had 2 DCs in the same year. But he's provided stability, and the kids believe in them. When I look over and we call Cameron Murray fat. That's his nickname on the team. But where we're at as a defense, and where I know we're taking the next step, and hopefully, I believe that defense wins championships. Offense puts butts in the seats and sells the tickets. But any championship I've ever won, I've won because we had a stout defense. And when you've got kids on the field that can position each other and understand what's going on, and you hear it and you see it every day, to say that I'm anything less than excited to watch what Coach Dixon and this defense puts on the field, I'm excited. I think that part of our thing was last year we went really young on defense, and now we return a lot, especially up front. We return everybody up front, really, but Cam Reese. And so you just got a bunch of guys with a wealth of knowledge. Eldrick Page at middle linebacker is one of the best middle linebackers that I've ever got to coach in my life. Ty Davis, I literally, I've watched this kid and, literally knock 4 people out in the middle of a football game and just keep on going. And not that we're looking for that, but it's the physicality that we love on defense, but equally the physicality within the rules of the game. That when we're hitting somebody that hard, we're not getting penalties called. It is a good, clean, form tackle because they've been coached to do that way, and then they put attention to detail to do it the right way. So, obviously we're expecting big things out of our offense, but, I really am excited and think the defense could lead this group this year.
Dylan, you mentioned that Pike Road game from last year. This year, what's it going to take to get past them, and we'll having that game at home? How important will that be in that matchup?
It's going to be week to week. Thankfully, we get a week off before the Pike Road game, so we'll get 2 weeks to prepare. And obviously, if we have any injuries, that'll give us a little time. But I think last year the problem was, and I told the coaches this, like a region championship is just another game. When we played for a state championship, wherever been, it's just been another game. Yeah, we all understand in the back of our mind, but it's the way you treat the week. Everybody deserves the same treatment every week. Everybody deserves the same intensity at practice every week. And so, last year we went into it and I kept hearing the kids talk about region championship this, region championship that. Well, we're not here to talk about the region championship. We're here to talk about the game. And so, obviously we do have Pike Road circled, but we have every team in the region circled. And we got our first home region game. Our first home game is our first region game against Wetumpka High School. I can promise you we're thinking way more about Bear Woods and his group right now than we are Granger Shook and his group. But, my thing is they're going to bring it every week. I know they're going to bring it every week. I've watched them this summer. When I tell you we've been so critical of any and everything that we possibly could over the summer, they'll probably get up here and talk about how much they've ran this summer. That's because they needed to run. But, at the end of the day, they still show up every day. They still do exactly what they're told to do. And, we're going to be excited. I can't wait to bring Pike Road to Seal, Alabama.
Coach, let's let the players come up and guys give your name and answer a couple of questions. The first question y'all already know. Since Coach has been here, the first thing he told us in his first year at Media Days was that it was going to be a long drag to get to where he wanted this team to be, and that's a state champion. And every year has gotten better. He's been more successful, and you guys have grown up with him. What kind of coach is he? And the second thing is, how hard are you working to get past where you were last year?
Bryson Riggins, quarterback. Coach Griggs, he's definitely a player's coach. He loves his players. He goes to bat for his players in the school and on the field. As far as getting past where we were last year, it just started in the offseason, basically, just putting in a lot of work, hard effort, and listening to our coaches or whatever. We got a great coaching staff, and, we got guys from the NFL, college level, and just taking what they give us and flipping it out on the field.
Jamari Burnett, wide receiver. Like Bryson said, Coach Griggs, he a player-oriented coach. He treats everybody the same. When you getting in trouble or doing what you're supposed to do, everybody's gonna get the same treatment. As a person, he's a great person. He treats everybody not on the team the same. As far as getting past what we did last year, we just been working harder than what we did last year, taking everything more serious and not looking down on any type of opponent that we play.
Cameron Murray, outside linebacker. Coach Griggs and all our coaches, they give out a lot of tough love, great coaching. A lot of them been to the NFL, collegiate levels. So we just listen to what they say, be more coachable. And we've been working a lot this offseason. The second round playoff game, it gave us a lot of hope for the next year. And that's it.
Isaiah Thomas, D-line. What I can say about Coach Griggs is that he's been there for me since day one. Every ups and downs I went through, he's been there for me. When it comes to the game, he keeps everybody accountable, cares about all the players, even their illnesses, he's there for them, all that type of stuff. Yes, sir. Done.
Todd Davis, free safety. Come to Coach Griggs is a great coach. He's the person that's going to be there whenever you need him. I just got into a wreck recently, last few weeks, and he was there. He was the first person that called me after the wreck, encouraged me to go to practice after that. As far as the second round, playing, it gave us a great perspective on what we need to work on, what we need to do to go past that for the next season. And I think as a team, we're going to do that.
Thank you, Coach. And guys, just want to tell you this. There was a time that Russell County was everybody's homecoming game. And now Russell County is circled on everybody's calendar as the one we don't want to play. Thank you for coming. Hope y'all have a great season. We're going to have a short break. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys. Go Warriors.